Welcome back to my channel, guys. This video is going to be about why I chose an Airbnb versus a hotel. So if you guys are interested in this video, and this is just basically adding to my category of traveling and my experience, make sure you guys stay tuned to this video. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about why I chose an Airbnb versus a hotel. Again, I will be going to Fort Lauderdale in about 2 weeks, and this trip has been very stressful due to the weather and the conditions that Florida went through a few earlier last month, which made me a little bit sketchy about visiting or even taking the step that I plan on taking in 2018. So it came to my attention that I began to plan this trip, I want to say around 2 or 3 months ago. I began to plan the steps that I am taking to visit Fort Lauderdale. Now I will be doing a vlog and I will be doing a tour of my Airbnb. So let's get into the main details of this video about why I chose an Airbnb versus a hotel. It took me a lot of searching, researching, and price matching to each of them, and just being efficient based off the two. Let's get into the video. Alright guys, so usually I am a master at booking hotels for my vacations. I go by the things that people might want, what I might want as far as location, customer service that I'm looking for, or different amenities such as like free breakfast or just maybe being close by the beach. So the reason why I chose an Airbnb this time versus a hotel. Now let's get into the definition of what exactly is Airbnb if you do not know. So Airbnb is actually a website, app, or area where you can actually rent an entire space, as far as like a home, an apartment, a condo, in the area or location that you are heading to. Make sure you guys also go to my last video that I will link down below in the description box about how to plan a vacation. It talks about all the steps that you need to plan a vacation. Now, Airbnb to me can be a little tricky, just like Uber. I look at Airbnb like Uber. You either get a hit or miss as far as a host. This will be my very first time using Airbnb to add to my trip. Looking at, I'm actually going to Fort Lauderdale for 3 days if I'm not mistaken. I'm going in on October the 15th and I'm leaving on October the 18th. So for me, I'm looking for saving this trip. This trip is not anything where I'm going to just turn up. I'm going to do some research and some more experience in the city of Florida in general besides South Beach. I know South Beach, Miami really well, but that's not a living area or area you should go if you're looking to do different things as far as being social, schools, relocating, or anything like that. So now I'm going to the heart of Florida where most of the residential things are happening, everyday life is happening, and that's where I plan to reside in my Airbnb. So this particular Airbnb is in the heart of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it is an apartment. It is going to be a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment with a fully renovated kitchen and fully furnished apartment. I will be doing a tour of that on my next video when I do get to Florida. So look forward to that, guys. Make sure you guys click the bell down below to get that notification when I do my Airbnb tour. So the hotels that I've been looking at, I always use booking.com app to book all of my hotels. I get the best prices. Right now I'm on the genius level, which actually means that I've booked so many hotels to the point where I'm getting this specific rate and discount deal. So I've been looking at many hotels, I've been looking at many Airbnbs, read plenty of views for Airbnbs, and a few tips I'm going on as far as hotels, and a few tips I'm going to give you as far as picking the correct Airbnb. So if you watch my last video, it talks about location. Now for me, when I'm looking at a hotel or Airbnb, I'm looking for a location. Is it by something that I want? Is it by something that I decide or really feel like I need? For example, when I do go to Florida, I find myself eating out a lot in Florida. Florida has the best Cuban food, the best Spanish food. It has just really good island food. So I find myself eating out a lot in Florida, and it is very expensive. So my goal this time was to save as much money as I can and just to see where it gets me. So that's why I chose an Airbnb. The hotels for Florida are beyond overpriced and expensive. I'm only going to be there for 3 days, and my hotel was about to cost me almost $300 to $400 plus a $200 deposit. And some people say, oh, it's just a deposit that gets back to you when you check out. But to me, I look at that. You know, what if they pick the smallest scratch on the wall and keep that $200? So when I'm looking at hotels, I look at the price of the room in total, and I also look at the deposit that they're asking for, because to me, that I have to add that in my total. So for example, if the hotel is $300, which is about $100 a night roughly, plus a $200 deposit, that means that hotel is $500 for 3 nights, which is ridiculous. And to me, a lot should come with that when you're asking for that much money for a hotel room. Which is brings me to my point of why I picked the Airbnb. Now, I got into the Airbnb type of thing when I began to do a lot of research on YouTube, reading a lot of reviews. Now, when I price matched an Airbnb for 3 nights, it was only $300. Some of the Airbnbs that I was looking at had a deposit. Some Airbnbs were like $200. But the reason why it won me over and I actually booked my Airbnb was the amenities that came with the specific Airbnb. For example, hotels sometimes only give you the option of having a $500 room for 3 nights. You have to still order room service. You have to still order you have to pay sometimes for your rental and parking. The location is horrible. It's probably by the airport. You don't get a nice view. You still have to travel all the way to the main city, which is like 40 minutes away. Versus the Airbnb, it gives you a more urban feel, as if you actually live in Florida, which I am so excited to feel that feeling. They give me free parking. They give me the access to actually talk to someone 24 hours a day. Some hotels are so busy where you can call them, they don't pick up. These Airbnbs have specific hosts that are designated to each location and rental that you're renting out for the time period, and they most of the time are on call. You have to keep my Airbnbs with female hosts, and the host has to be a super host. Super host on Airbnb means they own more than one location and their reviews are exceptional, which means if something goes down, that host should be there no matter what. They're there on call, their places are exceptional, and they're clean, and the reviews are accurate, and the pictures of the Airbnb are accurate. So that's what I plan to do with my Airbnb experiences. I will be doing the tour of my Airbnb and also doing my Airbnb experience added on to that Airbnb tour. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I just hit a few points. I will get a little bit more specific once I give you guys a tour of the Airbnb and actually see how everything flows. I'll also tell you about my customer service experience when I actually called them, how I actually went about paying, what question I asked, the questions I asked my host, and all those type of things. This was just an introduction to why I actually picked the Airbnb, which I have never done. This is my first time. I'm super excited. I hope it goes well. And make sure you guys just stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks again for watching my ladybugs, and make sure you guys stay tuned for my 2 upcoming vlogs, tour, and all the rest of my videos. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.